where these individuals are wearing the museum stuff when they plagiarize Museum of Law and Order theme. It's been 100 years and they're still doing it. And they can't go work with the Asian attorneys because that is outer space. What they did. Do you know how far you have to go to get something like that? Now, these are individuals from Six Flags Over Georgia, right? That was outer space. They're the only ones who have logo of America. And they still did it. They caused a planetary war crime in outer space. And the same about our country. The same about Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. And these individuals are trying to make up for their lack of timeline, the lack of a gap in time and space, because it's outer space. And they didn't cause a violent war crime on my clock while I was at work around Six Flags Over Georgia. From outer space. Over a tribal island. In outer space. I'm not in outer space right now. I just got my ass back over here in the past 7 years. Then I gotta go back out there, and you can't take an airplane for that. So how'd they get a ride home from outer space and cause a war crime on my clock while I was at work? This ain't international. Okay? It's about to be. When I find out they did more than just use plagiarism of the museum. That's 1. 2, it was at the museum. First off, that was plagiarism. 3, from Law and Order. Now, do we have to look 100 years ago at True Blood? Or do we have to go back to the museum? Or do we have to go look at Warner Brothers to take this up again? Or we could go back to outer space and look at all the plagiarism from the museum. It's a museum from this galaxy. And then they went to outer space and caused a war crime on my clock when I was at work, where I restored all the Metro train installments. I restored a very old blueprint. And I'm not the only one who's working it, okay? Now, this is messed up. Why is the X-Men Spider-Man taking the law in their own hands while these individuals have to learn to work with the Asian attorneys and make up for what they did? Because obviously they got the experience to prevent a war crime since they know how to cause a war crime. And that's all they know how to do. In outer space. And they come back over here with a two-faced lie. But they did it over here and no one said anything. No one does anything about it. Now there's a war crime over here. From in the month of, let's see, in the month of May, like they planned. And they did it again. And they plagiarized again. From at the museum. From over here. Law and Order. And went to outer space. And caused another war crime. While I was at work. And they did it again. In outer space. Now how did they get a ride over there? Because I don't even have transportation like that. People's health cannot afford from a bully or a Cyberman attack. In outer space. But we do have our Sign Insurance. That's the name of the company, Signs, from ACFRAC. In outer space, that logo's all the Americans. Now that's for a company, not your vehicle. That's how America was already out there. In outer space.